So here's the thing about Indy, especially in a race like this. The draft effect on Indianapolis, both in real life and in a video game, is such that the competition can stay in the race through the effect of the draft. So if you are not the most skilled, you can make up for that through just basically hanging on to that draft effect. What it also creates is a lot of passing opportunities, and by proxy, a lot of crashing opportunities. So I would also say that due to the drafting, right? So you're going to look at this and you're going to see lots of drafting, passing and stuff like that. Do you and look, if you look to the left, you'll see that this is a 4 times tire wear race. So do you take advantage of that draft and not abuse your tires, meaning let the draft, because you don't really wear your tires in a straight line, but you do wear your tires when you're turning. So maybe you get that draft and you let off during the turns, and then towards the end of the race, whatever you've saved in terms of tires, now you can go ahead and make those passes. So this is going to be a really interesting race coming up here, because it's going to see who really comes up with that tire saving hybrid strategy, but also by staying in the draft. So for me personally, I'll tell you guys watching, I'm going to let the draft do as much of the work as possible because I want my tires to be good. Now, if I let the draft do as much of the work as possible, I might have guys passing me. So, man, it's really, again, a really cool combination of racecraft. I'm glad we chose to go to Indy, because you don't give up track position. You don't want to do that. Never is that a good strategy, because then you have to pass it at somewhere. You have to repass at another point. You don't do that. But you do what you can to maximize, I would say to minimize the wear and tear on your car, maximize track position, and maximize that draft so that you have something in the tank for the end of the race. So, kind of just gonna go on like a, I'm gonna adapt where I can and just see what I can do so that by the end of that race, I'm in the conversation. So if you watched the last race, you'll know that I started in this lobby basically dead last, 16th out of 18th. Then we worked our way up all the way to 5th, almost 4th, almost 3rd, I would say. And now we're starting 5th. So we got the 5th fastest time. And that is a perfect opportunity, starting on the inside here at Indy, to move up to maybe 4th by the first lap and be in the conversation to win. So here we go, starting at Indy. Let's go.
All right, so starting 5th is not going to be a bad thing, because really when you're at a track like this, you want to be on the inside. Outside passing is not really a thing that I mean, you could do it, but the inside is the preferred line. I mean, just look at the track. You see the groove is basically painted right towards that white line. So we're starting 5th, and there's a saying in racing is you cannot win the race on the first lap, but you can most definitely lose it. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm not going to really force an issue like crazy, but I'm going to take it where I can. As you see, I was maybe thinking of forcing an issue, but backed off a little bit going into turn 3, which actually ended up working out for me because I was able to kind of set up this next pass and try to get towards the front. So we're coming off of turn 4 here and trying to really just get our feet wet and just get the ball rolling as best we can so that we really are in the game at the end. So now we're back to 6th. We're going to cover the position and try to make sure that we don't bleed any more track position off. So really just trying to get into a groove is going to be the best thing that we can really know how to do. And so now we're under attack for 6th place. We're going to cover that off and try to do our best to get into 6th place. We ended up getting into 4th place with that sick move and doing it basically at the last second. So we'll cover it right there. If you look at how I did that, I made sure that he was just right behind me and I covered the position right off. Now going into turn 3, He's, you know, he might not be happy about how I made that pass work, and he's going to give me a little bit of a bumper, but I'm going to hang tough and use my speed to get away. So now, coming off of turn 4, we're heading into lap 3 of stage 1. So honestly, I'm pretty happy sitting in 4th place in stage 1 out of 3. We're coming right now to 3 laps to go in the stage. I'm not in a huge rush to get all the way to 1st. It's really not a big deal. If I finish 3rd in the stage, that's fine. If I finish 5th in the stage, that's fine. I don't want to get back to your 6th and your 7th because I'm basically the 2nd fastest truck here, and I want to make sure that my track position is as close to where my speed reflects. Because what happens if you fall back to, let's say, 7th or 8th and you're faster, all of a sudden you're forcing issues, you're trying to make a square peg fit in a round hole, and it's not going to work. Because basically you're faster than everyone. People are mad because you're like a bull in a china shop, and you have to really be patient and negotiate your way through that. But it's impossible to do that without losing time. So being conservative in this case in stage 1 before things really start to pick up and just pick our way off smoothly is good. And honestly, we're right behind Safer Barrier, who is one of the top players in the world. I do trust his judgment, and I'm more than content to follow his way through the field. So we're coming to the end of stage 1, and you could see that we're basically the fastest because we were like
a little bit of a mistake there.
We were like
coming out of turn 1.
We were like 2 seconds behind, or maybe a second and a half, and now we're literally in the conversation.
We're making our way
by
up
the end of this stage
overall
to potentially get the win. So just I'm right here. What's going through my mind is I'm going to let this play out and let the competitors do it. So I see that Safer Barrier's going in. I'm going to try to follow. I'm going to try to follow him through. And I did a pretty clean pass and able to get up to 3rd place. Now I could have passed Safer Barrier right there. I don't really want to piss him off too much. And now we're in the last lap of the stage. I'm drafting him. We're both trying to get up to 1st and 2nd. So we're the fastest 2 guys in the race by far. And although we're enemies, you could say, we're basically...
I would say I'm content here with 3rd at the end of stage 1.
We're basically using each other to our advantage. And so that's the biggest thing in racing. It's like a chess match. You got to use whatever you can. So I'm not sure really why 1st place would let off like that. But now coming into the last couple of turns
I don't know what the deal with that guy
stage 1, I'm more than content to just hang out in 2nd here.
Is there something I don't know? Is it better to be in 3rd than 2nd? Is that what he's getting at? Are you playing tricks on me, sir? No, you got to be in 1st. All right, so at the end of stage 1, I would say very successful finish to that. You go from 5th to 2nd. To be honest, I was not at the end of that trying to push any issues. I think we have the whole rest of the race to do that. So you go from 5th to 2nd. I mean, you can go to 1st. You have the whole rest of the race to negotiate that issue. I think that I don't know how else to call that other than a success. So now I would say maybe we can go a little bit lower on the wedge, but then the tires are going to wear out more. So I'd say just keep the strategy as it is. Just try to stay up in that conversation. You want to stay up in that lead pack at the end of Indy. So yeah, I would say just track position is key right here. Just stay stable and just keep ourselves at the front. I'm okay behind this guy. I trust Safer Barrier. I think he's a good driver. Probably one of the best in the world. So let's get it.
All right, so here's a really good example of how being over-aggressive can really, 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 really cost you a win. So we're early in the race. Now watch, I tried to get in behind...
I did a risky move there.
You could see...
I was trying to drop into 2nd.
I tried to drop in.
Didn't end up working out too well. That's all right.
So now, me trying to drop in sends me back to 4th. Now
I'm gonna drop into 5th here.
Trying to drop in.
This guy's... I don't know. This guy's kind of giving me issues here.
So he's moving all around.
Let's
He's
just stay
wiggling.
in this top 5 pack and worry about that later. But let's just make sure that we're good.
So trying to stay at the top 5. This guy goes low, trying to protect the position. And now hits the wall coming out of turn 3. Really pissing me off. He needs to learn how to control his truck better. But now that sends us back to 6th. So that compounding issue is still plaguing us. Now a lap into that second stage, we're back to now 7.
That's a lesson in keeping your freaking track position.
So I think the better move on that start, if you go back and watch, would have just been to hang tough on the outside, try to drop in on, because you're going to lose a position. You're on the outside at Indy, and the preferred line is the inside. So you're going to lose a position either way. So I would say minimize the losses, because if you're already guaranteed the loss, then why not just take that one position loss?
Yeah, we do have quite a bit of damage.
Because now, by being over-aggressive, I've lost 5 positions. And now I have to dig my way out of another hole instead of just having played it safer. Sometimes you have to play safer, especially so early in the race. You're just trying to stay in the conversation.
I hate it. I'm faster than all these people. I hate this.
So this is exactly what I was talking about early in the race. You don't want to be in a position where you're now racing people that are slower than you, because you're going to get impatient, and it's never a good thing when you're literally way faster than the people in front of you to get mixed into that crowd. So I would say the most important thing out of all this is keeping your track position as best as possible. So now back to 9th. Just off that one mistake, it just compounds. Now catching the draft, important here. So that just saved the position.
I should have been more aggressive on that start.
So now I'm like, all right, now let's figure this thing out. Let's get back to the front.
Unfortunately, now I have to fix this damage, so the more track position I can get, the better.
Yeah, so
might as well just stay behind him.
Yeah, so
These people suck.
Past 10 Zach is honestly, he's on the same, we're thinking the same thing. And we're basically saying, all right, we've lost enough here. We got 3 laps to go in the stage. So why not just push? Don't worry about too much your damage. Don't worry about too much your tires. Because in order for you to have a chance, even like a puncher's chance to get to the front, you have to be as aggressive as possible. Catch that draft. So I want to duck into the draft here. As you can see, I'm still trying to cover that position off in the rearview mirror.
Not happy with how this race is going at all.
Because if I can cover that off, that then takes away my ability to, or that takes away the possibility to lose that position.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal to go from 2nd to 8th. That is just brutal. We'll figure it out though. 13 laps to go. There's going to be a pit stop. Not really much I could do here other than just continue with the same strategy. So we put in the most fuel we could to get the car full. Got to get 2 seconds to fix the damage. So we're definitely going to go backwards.
Ooh.
We're not starting 8th here. We'll probably start around 10th. And then it's just put yourself in a position to gain spots. So huge mistake by trying to let up and go in on that start. I think it was risky. But definitely not a good move in the end. So just gonna have to live with it, see what we can do for these last 10 laps.
So we ended up getting the damage. Now we're back to 11 with 9 laps to go. So a real hole. It's a deep hole, and it's a stupid hole. And I don't like being in these stupid holes, and I'm gonna learn from it in the future, and we're gonna do better. But anyways, you gotta do exactly what is on. You gotta play with the cards you're dealt. So we dive to the inside here, trying to get that 9th position. And now look at this pink truck, causing some trouble, gets hung up on the outside. And there's another thing. It's just now the skirmish. But now look, we're on lap 16, back to 11th place. That guy in first place, whether he's fast or not, is going to have the advantage.
Caution. I mean, all right, so the caution now takes out any necessity to pit. But now people got damaged, so we'll probably move up a couple spots. But, man, this race really went south. Just from that one mistake. You get caught, and then it's like this vicious cycle. You get caught, and then 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 you get caught. So, let's just try to recover, man. You go from 11th. Maybe if these 2 guys pit ahead, we go to 9th. And then 9th, maybe we can go to about 8th. Make some passes. But we really have to go. We got to get to the front as fast as possible. And big lesson for me, making that move there that really cost us probably the race. So let's see, 9th place.
So,
let's get it.
To be perfectly honest with you guys, being in second place in the conversation and then losing it, I'm pretty much on tilt. If you know anything about poker, you lose a couple hands, things aren't going well.
6 laps to go.
You aren't thinking straight. So now we got 6 laps to go. I'm in 9th position, and it's basically on me to reverse all the damage. So now up to 8th, looking good, looking good. Just got to make my move. Now trying to get to 7th. Give him a little bump. Not the cleanest move, but that's all right. 7th, he'll be all right. And he'll get the draft, and he'll fall right back in line. So now we got a strong current, a strong draft to work with. And I'm like, damn, I might be able to like pull this one out of my ass, to be honest. So I was thinking about making the pass there, maybe thinking about working on my way on the exit of the corner, but I hit the bumper. Not a good look coming into turn 4. So now I'm like, all right, oh man, I should have passed him there. But now I'm just gonna try to get the draft.
Stay in the conversation. All right, we're in the conversation. That's good.
Stay in the conversation is all that we can do. Just stay in the conversation and do our best as we got 5 laps to go here. And getting into turn 1, I wanted to make the move. I really did. The draft is just too high. Everyone's going too fast. Now, we get caught up on the outside.
Oh my God, that's gonna do it.
That's big damage. Now, as I said, as Past 10 Sack said, that's gonna do it. I got pissed. I'm like, bro, how do you let yourself get wrecked? So I said, fuck it. We're gonna just crash ourselves. And that brings out a caution. Sportsman
I
likes
just
no.
said fuck it. That
But I was on tilt, bro. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just on tilt. And it is what it is. So now caution's out. Thank God we're in a video game. We can fix our damage. But now I'm in 10th place and I got damage, 8 seconds of damage. So that's gonna send me way
Might as well just do the whole
back
thing.
in the pack. So I'm pissed.
That's triggering. You have the speed, everything's good, and then you just mess it up. I mean, I take full responsibility. Just terrible. I could have done way better.
Yeah, you definitely fucking could have, Zach. You definitely could have done better.
Now we got like 2 laps to figure it out.
So NASCAR overtime.
2 laps from like 13th place, 15th. Oh, this is not good.
15 laps to go. Sorry, 15th placed. We got 2 laps to go. And now I'm just like tilted. I'm pissed off. And I'm going to try to do whatever I can. Maybe salvage a top 10 here. So now going into turn 1, we got 2 laps to go. We do have the freshest tires because we were allowed to pit there. So now we're 13th. We get inside. Oh, we're in 13th now. 12, 11. Okay, now we're sitting 11. Hey, that might be good. We're making an aggressive move into 11th, now 10th, now 9th, and now 8th, and now 7th.
15th to 7th in 2 corners.
That was pretty sick, not gonna lie. So that was 8 spots in 1 corner, pretty much, in 2 corners. So a lap and a half to go here. We're now sitting 7th, strong draft. We got those guys just out of reach. So we're gonna do everything we can to just abuse the tires and use them to our advantage. So this guy hits the wall, we're able to capitalize, go into turn 4 with a head of steam, and now there's a mistake up there, so that's something else we can capitalize, really grab that draft the best we can. So we're in 6th place, trying to grab the draft. I'm trying to follow him down. I'm trying to follow him down, grab the draft, and do the best I can to maximize my last lap. So 1 lap remaining. Kind of below turn 1 a tiny bit, but I recovered nicely, a good exit. So we'll see what happens here coming into turn 2. I got to be as aggressive as possible. I said, you know what? This was a dirty move. I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't have done it, but you know, I was tilted, and I felt like I deserved to be in the top 2. Probably should have done that, but I'm like, you know what? You can see the shame on my face. I'm like, damn, I really messed up that guy's race. But he's still finished right behind me. He's right behind me drafting. So I'm like, damn, we're in 5th now, right? That top 3 is fighting. They are fighting. They're 3 wide going into turn 4, and we're in 5th, and I can see them. We're coming fast, and I got a draft on DMD Racing. We're trying to go. We're attempting to pull off the impossible here. Coming to the finish line. I'm on the inside. I'm going 4th, 3rd. We're gonna do a photo finish. Just short. Weren't able to pull it off.
15th to 4th in 2 laps. 2/10 from the win. Oh, I'm sorry, Dirt Racer. I had to make that move to do that, but
Yeah, he'll probably be a little bit pissed for a couple weeks.
that was kind of exciting, not gonna lie.
Man, I really honestly had fun, as you could see. Being removed from the party by the party leader, Dirt Racer, a little bit salty on that 1 move in the last lap. I don't think he realized how hard the race was.
Good race. Yeah, I was a little bit angry and tilted at what had happened, but it is what it is. You just do the best you can, and you move forward.
Yep, you got to do the best you can. Not every race is going to be perfect. You got to take what you can and move on.
So anyways, exciting race there at Indy. Tell me what you thought. Yeah, I know there was some moves there that were questionable, so you can roast me down in the comments for them. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned something. More importantly, this was just exciting. So less educational, more entertainment, and just cool deal there. That was fun.